Hey everybody, I'm doing my 115th and 116th TR this life.
Which is insane.
Yes, going from a Blight Caster Druid to and I was Azamar by the way, going to a human, I don't know, somewhere in the Arty. Definitely going ranged, but yeah. So this life, I don't know about you guys, but I had a ton of fun with this Blight Caster. By far, it's probably my favorite life.
Question for you, Planky. How do you
Yeah.
feel that Blightcaster changes from playing a regular druid? Because I know you're a connoisseur druid. Druid's one of your favorite classes. So, how was Blightcaster different? Was it just like an elemental swap where you're working different elements, or did it change how druid played in a fundamental way?
So I think a little bit of both. Um, I mean, I think some of that has to do on your play style too, because the druid is so versatile. But there is a ton of different crowd control that you could do as a Blight caster, which I tried to throw down at first, but as me, usually being me, I try to, go DPSy. But yeah, so changing the elements, like I got tons of dots, tons of AoE effect, a lot of crowd control, a little bit of healing. So the way I built this one, just speaking specific Blight caster, I should say, I think it definitely. I don't know. That's scratch my head on this one, Jan. I really do like how it changed the fact of I got to think more, and I think a lot of it has to do with DDO changing over the years of the Reaper and stuff. But I got to think more of, all right, I'm running into a fight. What enemy do I got to attack first? Do I got to try to crowd control somebody? Should I dot the Reaper first, then throw AoE down? Things like that.
So, are you wondering if maybe it feels different, but it's kind of hard to pick down specifically how it feels different because druid's so versatile to begin
Yes.
with?
Yes, for sure. So a lot of that has to do with, yeah, like I said, the changes of DDO over time, because it's been a while since I've done a druid, and then especially with, there's new destinies now, there's all sorts of things. But I
Okay, what
did
would you
notice I don't heal as much in this Blight Druid. I think because of all the wide array of crowd control.
you mean as in needing to heal, or the ability to heal?
They don't have the ability to heal, really. I mean, that's kind of why I ticked into Azamar, was that way I'd have the hands, which 50% of the time just failed us. The other 50% of the time it was me.
Well, some of it was also how extreme some of that stuff we ran at the end there was.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what would you consider the druids? I know you covered that it doesn't heal as well as a regular druid. What would you consider that druid's like biggest problem or weakness? Do you think?
Um, I would say the biggest weakness for me is I wore light armor instead of the heavy armor, like the Scales of Exile or what have you. So my MRR is and my PRR is nowhere near as well as fortification is what it used to be. But yet again, I think some of that fortification is coming from, just the time of DDO, how they kind of knocked it down. Part of that too is I don't have the filigrees and I don't have the gear that I would normally have at cap.
Oh, because of the different elements?
Yeah. Leveling up, I still felt like my PRR, MRR was pretty good, but once we got into epics and legendary, I think I kind of fell off the slope there.
Well, little side note for you folks. This guy just confided in me he ran all of the epics with a level 20 stick or something.
Yeah,
Instead of
and
swapping him for like
legendary.
a level 30 item, he ran with a level 20 stick, so that might compensate. That be part of
Yeah,
it too.
it's right here, the stick. So, and then I got some still level 20 gear on, Epic Raven's sight, Belt of Blind Devotion, level 21, right?
All your wisdom items.
Yeah. Yeah, and we did do was it the Mind Flare,
Oh
the
yeah,
new
those things are
extreme
hardcore,
challenges.
folks.
Yeah, yeah.
Those things hurt, especially
So
them giants.
I will say probably the most positive thing about this build that I have is improved evasion. Which, where did I pick that up from? Where does that come from? I forget.
That came from your swarm ability because you picked Swarm Druid, and the
Ah,
Blight
yes.
Swarm form gave you evasion.
Thank you. I knew it was somewhere. Yeah, so that's probably the strongest thing. Yeah, improved evasion. 50% concealment and improved evasion.
Next question. I know we didn't exactly run a lot of high school, but how do you think that build would do in high school?
I think if I geared myself right, I think it would still be phenomenal in a group setting. I think it would be phenomenal. Like if you had the right, if you had a tank, if you had actually had a real healer. But solo, high skull, you'd be doing a lot of kiting. My DCs aren't high enough, so maybe if I maximize my gear and stuff, I'd be all right.
I hadn't looked that high. Did they change I know you still have Earthquake in there, but did they change like your crowd control spells because you're not a water elemental or anything, or like a tree or whatever it is you turn into a druid? Did that change like your spell list any?
So my spell list is like going a normal, cold druid, changed drastically. I feel most of the spells that I used before, I don't use now. I do have a lot of them in there that I do throw up for I know if it's going to be a tough fight. The crowd controls and some damaging like Storm of Vengeance, things like that. But
Yeah, I know you placed a lot of thorn spells and stuff like that, like Tangling
yeah,
Vines and things like that.
yeah. So Grasping Thorns is a good damaging spell AoE, as well as it holds the enemy in place, and I got the SLA and the actual spell, so I was able to cast two of those at once, which is a reflux and a strength check there. And Earthquake, I'd use that still, Earthquake a lot. And then Tsunami I would use a lot, which with the Druid now is in the actual spell list, which I think is amazing instead of a Destiny spell. As well as Thorn Bloom. I got Sunburst. Was that from a tree? Yeah, that was for Season's Herald.
Oh, I thought that was on the Druid standard spell list. The Sunburst.
It might be, but I didn't take it. I don't recall. I think it might just be the SL or the core.
Because it's always bothered me that Sunburst and Earthquake are on the Druid spell list, but not the Cleric spell list.
Yeah, and
Sunburst
then
in particular, because sounds very much like a Cleric sort of thing.
my favorite heroic spell that I got, I would say, is Acid Well. That thing is crazy high damage. I think the highest I've seen with it was like 44k or 45k.
And it's got an awesome animation, folks. Just watching things just melt.
Yeah, for sure. But then my other favorites that I like to use that are not spells or SLAs would be the Destiny Shard Storm, as well as the Corrosion Swarm. I use those all the time.
Okay, next question on this. What do you think would complement the Plague Druid best class-wise? Because I know we ran through with a Warlock, an Artificer that was ranged-based, and your Plague Druid there. Do you think there's any classes that would specifically aid it, or like specific roles? Like, would it work better if you had a tank in the party, a dedicated healer, that sort of thing? What do you think on that?
So yeah, I was just actually, he took the words out of my mouth, thinking about a tank. I know I kind of mentioned it earlier. Is you have amazing DPS, good crowd control, but you do have those occasional you can't crowd control, or guys get free, they split up, what have you. It would be amazing, I think, having a tank. I think to push the skull limit and to the ease of access with just adding one more build in the group and pushing the skull limit as far as we could, I think a tank would benefit the most. Other than that, I think having a healer would probably benefit the second most. A full-time healer.
Yeah, maybe do like a cleric tank with to partner up with that build, maybe.
Yeah, that would probably fit it really well.
Was there any particular gear sets or things that you thought would go really well with that build, or like with that class? Because I know there was a lot of new stuff, and I know you haven't had a chance to look about. But can you think about any of the old standbys? Like, is there any set that says this really boosts that along?
I haven't put much thought into that. I initially wanted to go, when we hit Epic, I wanted to go with something that I thought was just like, oh, this is going to be amazing. I can't even tell you what it was, but I went and put it on, and I'm like, wow, that actually took away a ton from this build.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So
that was
I
like
had
at level
to,
20.
Yeah, so I had to take all that gear and just throw it. Well, I kept it in my inventory, I think, forever, and just recently today threw it in the bank. But
I know there
can't
isn't
think
a
of anything.
whole lot of poison sets. I mean, they added some because of Alchemist. They've added some poison things, but seeing as that was mostly a poison-based druid, they probably just don't have the sets for it yet. It'll probably be a little more powerful once they do.
Right. Yeah, and I found this life. I didn't use many clickies. I really didn't min-max on gear items.
My spell point parsimony is rubbing off on him, folks.
Yeah. It's just lack of time with life. It's not Jan. Alright, maybe it is Jan a little bit.
Well, no, the idea that you don't spend any spell points.
Yeah, and that's the awesome thing, too. I feel like this build, I forget what level it was. Maybe, I don't know. It might have been like level 12. I want to say level 10, but maybe it was level 12. I felt the need to shrine like I didn't really have to too often. And everybody knows me. I love to blast through spell point usage.
So you think this druid is really good for quests where you have limited shrines and a long place to go? So this might do better for like the grinders,
Yeah.
like Temple of Elemental Evil or Slave Lords?
For sure. So I'll give one example of using my spell points in a quest, and it's one of the new legendary ones with the giants that you can either sneak past or kill.
Our new little treasure.
Yeah. So I stepped in there with Ross, and I stepped in on R. What was it? It was either R2 or R4. I think it was R4. And he was an alchemist. And Ross, his builds, high DPS, maximizes, all that good stuff. So I said, all right, I'll just keep you healed. You just have at this giant. Take it down. So he's like, all right, this will be easy, right? So he got its health down to, I want to say 95%. And he ran out of spell points.
Yeah, those giants have about as much hit points as Baba Lysagas, so it's like,
yeah,
that isn't a mark against Ross. That is just how hardcore those giants are.
Yeah, Ross is still good. Thumbs up, Ross. But so I said, all right, now try to keep me healed. you know, I'm going to go to town. Let's see what I can do. And I believe the giant was down to 80% health when I ran close to out of spell points. And we called it. And I did not maximize my build at all. I just think with all the dots that I could put on, all the SLAs that I have, high DPS SLAs helped a lot. So I think I could last longer. I don't know if it's my destiny I chose to, right? Because, you know, you get all these things that add spell points, gives you temporary spell points, things like that.
What destiny did you run in, Planky?
So I just popped that up now. So my main destiny's Primal Avatar, 47 points. Then I went into Draconic, 23 points. I wanted to get the is it black?
Green Dragon's Poison Dragon.
Acid. I want acid.
Black Dragon.
Yeah, so I think I tried to like maximize my acid spell power. And then Epic's kind of changed a little. I wanted to go negative a little bit for the poison, right? Yeah, negative's poison now. There always was. But yeah, I really wanted to get the temporary spell points every time I activated Wellspring, which helped a ton. Double duration for it, right? So those two things alone, I want to say Ross got both those, but don't quote me on it.
I don't know. We'd have to ask Ross.
Yeah. So that's what I chose. I don't think I ever touched a shrine unless you guys needed a shrine too. Then I'm like, I might as well shrine if I'm not mistaken. But souls helped. I ate most of the souls, to be fair.
Yeah, we did touch the shrines on the Mind Flayer quests.
Yeah, 100%.
But even I had to touch the shrines, and I wasn't even a caster. It's just like using up all my full auto charges and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm just, as we're talking, I'm just scrolling through everything that I have this life.
How did it feel in the leveling experience? We talked about epics a good bit, and we talked a little bit about how you ate through more like shrines and spell points in heroic. How did you feel the overall leveling experience getting from like 1 to 20 went with that build? Is it good for low level play, or is it like a late bloomer where it comes into its own on epics?
So, as all casters, I feel like the first few levels are a struggle as a caster. The nice thing about this build, and I think you complimented it a good amount, Jan, is you gave me the, the added weapon damage from being an arty. Yeah, the imbue die. So, when I picked up that imbue die pretty low.
And it did ridiculous damage, people.
I feel like it did really good damage even at low levels. So I was doing a spell cast swinging to save spell points, spell cast swinging. So it was melee casting both, which worked really well. I still felt like it was slow because I don't really care for melee. So I don't know. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was that bad. But yet again, a lot of it that helps, I think, is my past lives. And I did kind of gear up at lower levels to spend a lot of time on that.
Tapping the dragon's horde.
Yeah. Are there any questions you have before I do my epic TR? So I'm going to epic TR now, I think.
No, man. I think we covered everything you'd probably want to say about the build.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know. What did you think, Kaz?
I thought it worked pretty good. I mean, it all seemed to work fine. I didn't have any complaints about it.
I did notice in some of them you actually died a bit more than you usually do, though.
Yeah, like I said, I am more
very
squishy
rare for you to
squashy.
actually die in a quest, and you actually did it a good 4 or 5 times throughout the last life, especially in the higher difficulty stuff.
Yeah, especially those extreme challenge ones, I feel like I died the most.
It's a little more squishy than I think your standard build, but it does have a lot of maintaining power because You don't need to use shrines nearly as much.
Right. I'm naked. But I'm green and blue-faced.
This show is for the dudes.
Yep. Trap damage absorption. First time I'm acquiring that.
Oh, were you able to hit all the skill checks that you wanted to with that build? Because I know you can usually handle any skill check we do because you got enough like swap out gear.
Yeah, I didn't pull out all my swap out gear. If I did, I think I would be pretty darn close to most. But there's a few that I'm just like, no, I'm out of sight. Kaz, you got this right. Yeah, there was definitely a little bit of room for social skills. I could have improved swapping gear, but I just never went and got it. I did have a lot though. Like I didn't use any of we're discussing what is that, the festival clicky for the 10 diplomacy, festive diplomacy. I didn't do any of that. Coffees, yeah, thanks.
We were just talking about how we are not too big of a fan of steelbucks. They're a nice boost,
No.
but having to click them every 90 seconds is just tedious.
Yes.
I feel that's one of the reasons I don't like playing melee is because you have to click the rage and haste potions like every 30 seconds, and it's just bleh.
That's why I just don't use those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
me
that's why
neither.
I haven't
That's
been.
mediocre as melee.
Alright, so I did get a wish, so when I level up here, I gotta remember to use that. And I've used it once before. You click on it before you're about to use your iconic art, right?
Yeah, you use it and then I believe it. You use it, it puts a buff on you, and then you just go through your reincarnation process otherwise. I don't know. I assume that's how it works.
Oh.
But I have no experience actually doing it.
Fair enough. There's still no button to one click get past all this. The boring part.
It is what it is.
Yes. I'm getting there, though. I'm getting there.
Well, that's good.
Only level 8. I thought I was like 15 already.
Yeah, that's what brought up the question about skills, because I know that's what you do mostly in there is spend skill points.
Yeah, thanks.
That's why whenever I do an epic reincarnation, I just dump everything into strength and dex, so I have less intelligence, so less skill points.
Yeah, the one time I made a mistake and spent intelligence on like was it a drow or something? I'm like, oh god. It's So a build I could do 20 points in intel from the start. I'm like, what the heck? And
Yeah,
one
I'm
time I
afraid to
did.
do that just because I know sometime I'm gonna be making like my actual character, and I'm gonna be thinking like that and bone fork it.
That's what I was gonna say. Is one time I was doing an epic reincarnation and gonna build my level back up and do another epic, and yeah, I completely messed it up. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I had to eat a heart of wood and do it again. Like, no.
I am a believer in good work habits, so
Fair
even
enough.
though it's painful, I actually dutifully spent all the skill points I got intelligently, just to make sure I don't mess it up at some later date.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it is. It took me over half an hour to do the epic TR.
Yeah, but then the one time that you would have messed up, you're not gonna. Yeah,
Yep,
all
that
right,
is the
but
price I paid.
over the course of 100 and however many there are, oh yeah, that's oof. If you do it every time.
Well, normally the skill points aren't too much of a problem for me because I'm playing a dumb cleric.
Yeah. Alright, level 19.
Almost there. Not
Alright.
much longer.
Yes.
I'll be right back. I gotta let the cat out.
Alright. So I believe I can step out. Yes. Oh man, I'm medium weight. I gotta lose some weight. Alright, so it says that I am now currently in Azamar. Wish for elf memories. Make a wish. Your next racial reincarnation will give you an elven past life instead of a past life of your current race. Can only be used on yourself. Oh, thank goodness. Warning, if this item is used before any kind of reincarnation other than racial, it will not work. Be sure to use it immediately before a racial incarnation. So, do I use it now and then put my heart in? Put my heart in and wait to hit or log out then? Yeah, I know now.
I would use it before you flag for reincarnation.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you click on the Life Shaper and choose racial reincarnation and next, and then you put
It's
your...
probably because it might lock it in. I don't know where it locks in at.
Right.
It could be during that window. It could be during the when you actually click the button to reincarnate on your character select screen. I don't know.
So yeah, I think
I've
it's
never
somewhere...
used a wish for memories before.
I think it's somewhere in the Life Shaper. Shaper.
Yeah,
When
'cause
you...
it confirms like, hey, here's what you're going to get.
Right. When you put the heart in and then you hit the next arrow, then it shows up rewards. Elf. Yeah, I'm getting Elf 2.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right.
Yeah, just go ahead and use it, Planky. Why think when you can just overcompensate?
Yeah. Oh no, I have unprepared spells. Oh, darn it.
Oh no.
And unspent enhancement
And too
points.
bad. And I'm naked.
Welcome to the burlesque.
All right. All right, now I'm going melee. I'm just kidding. I really like how they did the, choose your class thing. So, like, when you click on Ranger now, you got the archetypes, Ranger or the Dark Hunter.
Yeah.
I like that. I think they neaten that up a little bit. Oh, right on human. I got the look that I want already. Perfect. So I think, if I recall correctly, I want to start with 13 decks in order to use improved precise shot. At the
I
level
think
you get
improved
it.
precise shot requires 19 decks.
Should be 6 tomes, and you get that by level 15, right?
Sounds about right.
No, we'll find out the hard way if I'm wrong.
I take it you're going primarily int.
Yeah.
Improved
18
precise shot
int.
is 19 dexterity. You need point blank shot, precise shot, and then base attack 11.
Yes, that's what it is. What you get at.
And
with
different
an RD,
classes
you get at 15.
upgrade to base attack at different levels.
Yeah, fighters get them like a full point, right? And
Yeah,
an
their
RD
class
gets like
level
a
is
third of a
basically their
point.
base attack on it.
Yeah, Artificer, you can take it as an Artificer bonus feat at every 4th level. So, I mean, you could, let's see, and base attack for Artificers, you can take it at level 16 as a bonus feat. Assuming you meet the other prerequisites.
Ah, okay.
Because that's when you'll have the base attack for it.
16, perfect.
Well, at level 15, you'll have the BAB for it, but you can take it essentially for free at level 16 if you wanted to wait a level.
Right.
Depends
at
on if you
15,
want
I
to
can
wait
take
a
it for regular
level
fee.
or do you want to spend like a proper feat on it.
Yep. Depending on what other Artificer bonus feats there are that you could want.
All the meta magics, construct essence, any skill focus is artificer bonus feat. I think spell focuses are artificer bonus feats.
And
And most of
Jan,
the range stuff is.
you're going charisma based, right?
Well, me, I'm playing fire cleric.
So do you choose wisdom or charisma?
Wisdom.
Okay. All right. And then Kaz, you're not going charisma, right?
No, I'm going strength.
I'm going to add some points in charisma with my remainder points.
Yeah, cleric is weird in that it like charisma matters, but it's not like the make or break like it is for the other classes that use charisma. It's like sort of important. So like my base starting charisma was like I think a 12. It was a 14. Like my base charisma was a 14. And that was good enough. Sort of like how you have decks for like ranged feats, but that's about it. It's a sort of thing for with me and charisma.
So let's see. Concentrate, disable device. I chose haggle. I don't need to, I guess.
Open lock.
Open lock, repair, search, spellcraft, spot. Going UMD. And I was thinking I'm going to probably need heal if I'm using some potions too, right? That might help
It
out.
doesn't hurt. Actually, when I did my RD life, I had so much int, I got all the class skills as like standard. I only spent like my int tome bonus skills on cross class skills, mostly diplomacy and tumble. So if you are like an artificer with like maxed out int, yeah, you're basically gonna get all the skills.
I chose also heal and diplomacy as my non. Yeah, I got all the non-cross class. The cross class ones are Diplo and heal. I chose. I like it. Okay, so Dragon Mark. That was passage we were talking about.
Yep, least Dragon Mark of Passage. Like he asked us, like before he set this up, I was like, what race should I play? And I'm like, thinking, I was like, go human so you can use DDO.
Yes.
You also get a greater heroism clicky if you decide to invest in that too.
Yeah, if you go all the way into the top of your racial tree, yeah, you can get greater heroism.
Which is easier than you think. I don't know, it depends on how many racial action points you have. I have 5, I don't know how many you have.
I might. I always forget what the granted ones are. Oh, it's rapid reload for the ranged.
So it's easier for you to swap between spells and equipping your weapon.
So I think point blank shot is a good one to take.
Oh yeah, always. That's my go-to when I play artificers. My level 1 feat is point blank shot.
I'm thinking so too. Though I do like taking insightful reflexes at the start as well, but it doesn't matter as much.
I think I take that as my level 3 feat. Because I don't think it's one of the auto feats or like the artificer free feats you get. So I think I take that one at level 3.
It's been a minute. Don't you get to conjure bolts as enhancement?
It's a level 1 arty spell.
You could pick it up as an enhancement as an RD2 though, right?
No, that's inquisitive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll want to take it as a spell. Don't inscribe it. Because something with the way inscribing that spell specifically works is you don't get the higher leveled version of it automatically from inscribing it. It won't level up with you. You'll just get the basic version of it.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, as you go higher up in the levels, you'll get like +2, +3, +4, +5, +6 bolts.
I mean, I don't think it really matters because most of the time your weapon's just going to outstrip that just because it's a higher leveled weapon. But in certain fringe cases, it might make a difference.
If you're swapping for specific weapons, like if you use like the Silver Slinger to deal with skeletons, it might make a difference. You know.
All right. Going neutral, keeping my look the same.
Neutral is the best because it lets you equip all the different alignment-based weapons without penalty.
Oh no, I got overflow and I'm overburdened.
You find
oh no, my
yourself
items, they're all
waking on the
gone.
Shore of Flotsam. Memories
Give it a
of
second.
a large white dragon striking your ship come flooding back.
Yeah, they'll show up sooner or later.
You ain't undead, are you?
Yeah, even you might have to do what I did was after you finished all that and you put all your equipment back on, you might have to relog so you don't move like you're moving through cold peanut butter.
Oh yeah, I noticed that the last time, I do believe.
Well, I know it happened to me the other day, so...
Stepping out of the grotto, you find yourself in
All right,
Korthos village.
everybody's gonna be my witness before I log off. I am binding myself to
Judging
the
from
ship.
how it looks now, the Sahuagin are winning.
Yes, stable,
However,
perfect.
some hopeful
I got
souls still
all
hold out for
these.
help to arrive.
Horsey! So which one are you gonna go for this life, man?
The big green blob.
Oh, the happy lizard.
Yeah, that looks like if I was a dude, that would really hurt riding this thing.
Well, it's a good thing
How
your
far my
character's a
knees
lady
are
then.
out. Alright, gotta bind.
Yeah, don't do the walk of shame. I know you don't die all that often, but especially at low level where Raised Dead is actually very rare outside of Gibbers and Siberi's Cakes, don't do the walk of shame.
Yeah, right. It was level 3. I always forget. I think it's level 3.
It's level 3, and it's closer to the arcane like spell component vendors than it is to the crafting hall.
Yeah.
It's
I
on
went
the
the
arcane
wrong
spell
way.
vendor side.
Yep. Alright. Banquet Hall. Here we are. If you are lost in battle, you now be resurrected at this location. Everybody's my witness. Yes. Alright, let's see. Enhancements. Let's see. What boost do I want? Melee range power sounds good.
Yeah, it usually is. Especially considering if you did get like imbue dice and stuff, that's gonna scale with it. You gonna go with knockdown shot build on that Planky with battle engineer?
I would like to. Yeah. Where is that? Is that top tier?
I think it's next the tier below top tier.
Hmm.
I didn't go for that one because I went inquisitive, and inquisitive capstone gives you knockdown on a nat 20 because it gets the ability of a great crossbow. But I know knockdown shot's a good thing to have if you're playing like repeater arty.
I cannot find it.
It's the one tiered above corrosion shot, corrosive shot.
Corrosive shot. I don't even. Oh. Shattered defense. Thunder shock weapon.
Well, it's an active clicky, so it's like a specialty shot. It'll be one of the square ones.
Trip effect. So yeah, that's top tier.
Ah, okay.
Which I think I'm going top tier in battle engineer. I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
Oh yeah, because you're juggling between Master Maker for tanky and healing and Battle Engineer for DPS, right?
Yeah, I think I wanted to go top tier in Renegade, but get the capstone in Engineer. But I don't know. We'll see, I suppose.
Well, that's what Fred's for as well. Or not Fred, like being able to reset your trees.
Right. All right, I got DDO.
Very useful
Level
in some
1.
situations. There's a reason why some quests strictly prohibit you using DDOR in them. It's because DDOR makes certain things very easy.
So, oh, that's why one's a universal tree. I'm like, I got one more point. How come I can't spend it in the action surge? That costs 1 point. All right, universal would probably be, because I'm not going to spend points in it, but just the one.
Harper, Falcon.
Horizon?
Yeah, I forgot about Horizon.
No.
I seem to have remembered spending some points in the Harper tree so that I don't have to cast a spell to give myself int for damage. Though I seem to have a lot of useless spell slots at near the end there, so it's like that might not be worth the like 10 points it was in the tree to get that.
Inquisitive's not bad if you're just spending 1 point.
No.
But I think I might go Harper just in case I got 1 extra point. Alright, well, kids are down and they want to see me, and we got to get going, so I'll have to pull my gear and stuff out later, do my hot bars later. With that being said, I don't think I'll be ready to run Tuesday. Because I'm not going to have any time from now till Tuesday to do that.
Okay.
But if
Do
you
we
guys want to
reconvene
run a
next
day,
Saturday?
you can. Yeah, or we could just meet up Saturday.
Okay. Well, it's like the one Tuesday that isn't 100 degrees, and all of a sudden yeah, never mind.
I found the loot. But, yeah, so I won't be able to run Tuesday, but I'll have everything situated by then. So it'll be Saturday.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody, for watching and joining Jan and Kaz. And we'll see you Saturday.
Yep, sounds good.
The Bolt.